Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Nutmeg Sports. It's a Tuesday edition and another rainy edition here on the HAN Network. I'm Adams Donald Eng. Over to my left, that would be your right. But good show today. We've got the head softball coach at St. Joseph High School joining us, Jeff Babino. He'll be on with us in a moment. As well as getting to Athlete of the Week. We have to catch up on that. We kind of missed you yesterday on the Athlete of the Week topic, so we'll catch up there. Kind of catch up also on cancellations. We can tell you our broadcast, which was coming up at 4 today, which was boys tennis between Fairfield Ludlow and Norwalk, is now postponed. The rain kind of stopped at times, Don, but it never stopped enough. And with no sun coming out, I just really thought we were never going to get that match going.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's one thing to have a lacrosse game or something, or a baseball game on a field where there's actual ground. A concrete hard court with a little bit of moisture on it is just going to become a skating rink, and it doesn't really take very much rain at all to cancel something like that.
But we're going to start the show in softball, and we're very happy to bring him right on to the show now, and it is Jeff Babino, head softball coach at St. Joseph. Coach, Rob and Don, how are you?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. Now, as we were talking off the air before we started here, you also are reporting a bit of the weather blues.
Yes, we are. We are looking at building an arc this week to play our games in, but right now it looks like today is canceled. We moved that game to a Saturday, and we're hoping to start back up again tomorrow.
Saturday the 14th, from what Coach was telling us, West Hill and St. Joseph, and, you know, every game is a big game, no matter who you are, but I know this was a particularly big game between you two teams.
Yeah, we look at it, Rob. I mean, the FCX is a very competitive league, and, you know, we sort of go at it. You know, each team that we play has been very competitive to us. So, you know, we treat each one, sort of individually, but, it looks like it'd be an exciting matchup.
Coach, looking at your schedule here, right now you're 11-1, undefeated against in-state competition, and if my math is right, you have given up 5 runs in 12 games. That kind of pitching and defense has to let you sleep a little bit easier at night, right?
Well, it certainly does. I mean, Nicole is a very outstanding pitcher. She keeps us in the games, and fortunately, we can score a few runs on the other side to take the W away. So, we're happy going forward. We're playing solid, consistent softball, basically around the whole diamond.
We actually had the good fortune of seeing Nicole Williams pitch last year in a game against Trumbull over at Trumbull High School, flirted with a perfect game and a no-hitter as well, and she did it again, a perfect game just recently. I know those are more common in softball, but still, it's got to be kind of exciting.
It's very exciting. It's really hard now, with the 43 feet, going back from 40 a couple years ago. And, she has good control, doesn't walk a lot of people, and she's around the zone all the time. But great accomplishment for her. I was very happy for her last week.
Now, Coach, obviously we're looking at the West Hill postponement. That would have been a battle of first-place teams. But as far as the Eastern Division goes, have you been surprised that you've been able to almost not so much pull away, but really put some distance in between yourself and some of the other teams? I see, like New Canaan, Ward, a couple of games back, Darien, a game behind them. But you guys have actually been able to almost put some ground between you and the competition, right?
Yeah, it's been a very interesting year. We went out scouting a couple, the teams that we were going to be playing, and everybody else is, like I said, I worry about us, and we've been very consistent in what we've been doing. And I think, a lot of the other teams are maybe younger or maybe have a different pitching staff, and bringing a new pitcher in. And they've been playing up and down. And I think we've seen that across the board pretty much through the league. Westville, on the other hand, they're pretty good right now. They're 9-2, 8-1 in the FCX. So, they've been playing consistent ball as well.
You were talking about some of the teams possibly being a little bit younger. For your competition, it doesn't look to be getting too much easier in the near future. At least 3 seniors on your roster, and that's it. So you guys are look to be set for a while.
Yeah, I guess maybe you want to look at it on paper, but we're starting 2 freshmen this year, which gave me a little more gray hair in the beginning, but it's starting to work itself out where they're starting to learn our program and what we do. And yeah, I mean, Nicole losing her next year will be a challenge to replace her, which you really don't replace her. But we'll see what the cards bring next year.
Talking with Jeff Babino, softball coach over at St. Joseph on Nutmeg Sports on this Tuesday edition. And we've got you tomorrow, weather permitting, we hope, when you take on Ridgefield. What kind of team are the Tigers? And, you know, from a coach's perspective, what kind of group is that?
Well, you know, again, you look at a team, you know, we've seen them, they're 8-4 right now, you know, 5-3 in the FCAC. They're a better than average team. You know, we don't take anybody for granted. You know, and I think, you know, the old adage, on any given day, anyone can beat each other. And I think they're a team that, you know, if we don't play to our capability, they're a team that can sneak in and take one away from you.
Obviously, this is a special group, as you know, championship group from the FCAC from last year, and then you went on and played for a state title, of course. But what makes this group so special? You know, what makes this group come together, and what's made Trumbull into a softball town, if that's what it is?
Well, I mean, as far as this group, I mean, they've been together, you know, as Nicole came in as a freshman, you know, she was highly touted coming in. You know, we brought her along slowly her freshman year. And then she took control, you know, in their sophomore season. And I think the kids have sort of banded in knowing that, you know, they have someone that can take them to the championship. And I believe they bought into, you know, what we do here. The off-season workouts have to be done, and, you know, you put your conditioning time in off the field. And I think, you know, they have a good group of friends. You know, they're very, you know, outside of here, we do a lot of community things together, and, you know, all the pasta parties and all that stuff. And I think it brings them together well. Trumbull itself, very, very good feeder programs, meaning your Little League programs are very well done. A lot of training done in the coaching level at that level, so it brings up the kids to you know, to the high school level well prepared.
You know, Coach, looking to get away from the FSAC for just a second. Last season, of course, the cadets Class M runners up, and this year Class M looks to be even more stacked than ever. East Haven has moved up to Class L, but not a lot of not a lot. I mean, a lot, plenty of competition in Class M this year. Have you scouted anybody? What are your thoughts on that Class M division this year?
No, sure. You know, again, your Seymours come back with a very, very strong team. Rand Gifford is, you know, going Division I Bucknell. You know, an excellent pitcher, excellent coaching staff up there. You know, we always worry about playing them as well as they worry about playing us. You have Rocky Hill this year coming back in the fold. North Branford, I've seen them. You know, they had a great run last year. You know, so yeah, there's a good 4 to 6 teams in that top tier that are going to be tough to get by.
Talking with Coach Jeff Babino from St. Joseph Softball. And really appreciate your time as always, Coach. And we look forward to seeing your team tomorrow. I mean, I hope they get out and play, but boy, the weather does not look good, and that just wreaks havoc with a coach, doesn't it?
It certainly does. It's not so much it's what you do when you're not playing. You know, trying to come up with, you know, you only can hit so much off tees and you know, front toss and stuff. So, you know, we get a little creative, keep their energy level up and their enthusiasm up. But I mean, they're itching to play, I can tell you that.
Well, we're itching to get out there and broadcast you as well, and hopefully we do see you tomorrow, and excited to, because we haven't seen you this season, so going to be a lot of fun to catch up with you, and we look forward to it. Thanks so much for your time. You're always a good sport to come on, and anytime we'll have you back.
All right, thank you guys very much. Thanks for covering the sport. Thank you.
Our pleasure. Jeff Babino, head coach, softball at St. Joseph. Don and I will take a break. We'll come back. More of Nutmeg Sports right after this on the HAN Network.
Had a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or go to coastalorthoexpress.com. That's coastalorthoexpress.com. Like them on Facebook.
Do you need help reaching or maintaining your fitness goals? For over 20 years, Mike Pernice has tailored his time and expertise to clients on both coasts whose schedules demand flexibility and accountability. Mike is a certified lifestyle manager and has been called upon to help his clients eliminate negative behaviors such as coping with stress, improving their time management, setting realistic life goals, and cutting down compulsive behavior. If you're ready to start working toward a more energetic, productive, and healthier you, call Mike Pernice.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account. not just balances. Where community comes first. A place where there's more than one kind of interest. Where automation will never replace consideration. Where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
For more than 50 years, Triple S has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, Triple S will get the job done fast, big or small. At Triple S, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning.
Find us at triplesclean.com or 203-847-8000.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network.
Back with you on Nutmeg Sports on this Tuesday, and it just looks darker outside, so I guess canceling as many things that are getting postponed, it's the prudent thing.
It really is. I mean, it plays havoc with the back end of the schedule, particularly with the baseball schedule, because it really messes with your pitching rotation. But what are you going to do? You can't control the weather. You just do the best you can and try and get into the tournaments.
Thanks to Jeff Babino for coming on. Fingers crossed that we will see his team tomorrow in Ridgefield against the Tigers. And, just a quick kind of inside broadcasting thing. St. Joe's is one of those schools, unfortunately, that is just tough to get out and broadcast at because they haven't quite got the infrastructure built in yet. Yet is the key word, because I know in talking with their AD, Kevin Butler, they very much are looking at getting things squared away to, line things up for us to broadcast.
And they've made tremendous strides from the days when they were playing on Dolling Field with the
I remember
with almost like what did George Young refer to it, the field of painted mud.
Yeah, very true.
And they've made some tremendous upgrades in their facilities.
We have some athletes to honor right now, and the CIAC honored the scholar athletes at the 33rd annual CAS-CIAC Scholar Athlete Banquet. That was at the Aqua Turf Club in Southington over the weekend. The Scholar Athlete program recognizes 2 high school seniors, student athletes, 1 boy, 1 girl, whose academic and athletic careers have been exemplary, whose personal standards and achievements are a model to others, and who possesses high levels of integrity, self-discipline, and courage. We've come up with the FCAC, those 2 that you're looking at right now, in fact. Those are Reagan Steed and Richie Bellucci from Fairfield Ludlow. Congratulations to them. Don, let's go with Bridgeport Central.
We start off Central. Leslie Perez Wong and Yoel Salvador from Bridgeport Central are the 2 honorees.
From New Canaan, it's Claire Conley and David Strupp. Congratulations to them.
Stamford High School, Caitlin Hutter and Gilmar Barrios. Congratulations.
For Brian McMahon, Olivia Bagos and Dylan Finn.
Danbury High School, Caitlin Mooney and Sunshet Sauji.
Darien is Sarah Lahan and Christian Ostberg.
From Fairfield Ward, Gabriella Natoli and Jackson Stearns.
From Greenwich, it's Emily Berzola and Thomas Glover.
From Norwalk, Alexandra Whalen and George Katrubis.
From St. Joseph, Marissa Grasso and Cameron Ryan.
From Staples, Rachel Stanford and Jack Griffin.
Trinity Catholic is Ellie Smith and Dylan Dane.
And finally, from Wilton High School, Mary Catherine Lynch and Matthew Krishan Ravichandran.
Very well done. So congratulations to all of those scholar athletes. My hat is always off to students who can perform in the classroom and on the field. I don't know how they do it. I really admire it.
Well, and I've seen that the studies show that student athletes, while their sport is in season, their grades tend to be better simply because they have to have the discipline and budget their time and they schoolwork, then practice and all that stuff. So congratulations. It's great to see kids that can excel in the classroom and on the fields.
I totally agree. All right, let us move in now to the athletes of the week from our own organization, the HAN Network. Of course, it's the HAN Network FCAC Athlete of the Week. I fumbled the ball yesterday, did not get you the winners from last week. So let's catch up on that. First of all, Don, if you've got them, I'll toss it to you.
All right, the winners from last week were Rebecca Snitkoff of Fairfield Ward Lacrosse on the girls' side, and for the boys, it was Fairfield Ludlow baseball player Zach Day. So congratulations, Rebecca and Zach.
So this week's winners, you can vote for them. In fact, you can vote for the nominees, I should say. That's what I'm trying to get out of my brain. The voting is open until Monday at 12:15 in the morning, 12:15 a.m. So get your votes out between now and Monday morning, just after midnight, and then we'll announce them next week on Nutmeg Sports. We start with the girls, and first off is Adalise Aquino of West Hill Softball. She took a no-hitter into the 7th inning when the Vikings defeated Trumbull 3-0 on Wednesday. A 2-hitter she struck out for West Hill, by the way. 8-2 overall.
And looking forward to seeing West Hill against St. Joseph over the weekend, with that game that was rescheduled from today. Your next nominee, also from West Hill Softball, it is Adriana Gambino. Her single in the top of the 8th inning provided the winning margin as West Hill beat Stamford 6-5. She also had a solo home run and pitched the final 4 1/3 innings in relief to get the win.
Staying in softball with another Gambino. This time it's Julie Gambino from Norwalk Softball. 3 for 4, a triple, 3 RBIs. That helped propel the Bears to a 9-8 win over Greenwich.
And next we have Ava Greco of Wilton Lacrosse. The sophomore tallied 13 goals in 3 games for the Wilton High girls, helping the Warriors win 2 out of 3 games last week. She is actually committed to Duke University, had 4 goals in Wilton's 13-11 win over Ludlow.
To Darien tennis now, it's Kateri Martin, the #1 single player, kept her record perfect with a 6-love win over Wilton's Jelena Cipher.
New Canaan softball player Molly Keshen is your next nominee. She blasted a 3-run home run in the top of the 3rd to put New Canaan ahead for good as the Rams beat Ridgefield on Friday. She also reached base in all 4 plate appearances, 2 for 2 with 2 walks.
Jen Kropa is next from Stamford Lacrosse. She has 6 points on 5 goals and 1 assist. The Black Knights downed New Milford 17-5 last week.
Emily Phidippides, Greenwich Track and Field, anchored 2 relays, which were victorious at the 36th O'Grady's Relays last weekend in Danbury. The 800-meter medley team won in 1:52 and 4.
Catherine Harford of Greenwich Lacrosse is up next. She had 6 goals as Greenwich defeated Stamford 15-7.
Fairfield Ward softball pitcher Olivia Vadis had a 2-hitter, struck out 14 as the Mustangs beat Danbury 5-0.
Finally, on the ladies' side, it is the aforementioned Nicole Williams of St. Joseph's Softball. A perfect game, struck out 14 of 15. The Cadets defeated Brian McMahon 13-0. She then struck out 14 and allowed 4 hits in a 5-0 win over Darien on Saturday. Nicole Williams, my gosh, what a special player. On to the guys.
Allowed four hits in 2 games, huh? Yeah. I guess that's okay. It's not bad.
I mean, that's a Jake Arrieta week.
And of course, not to hype it too much. Nicole Williams versus Adalise Aquino, Stamford West Hill. I keep saying it. I'm still looking forward to it.
That's a good one.
Fun game.
To the guys now.
To the guys, Sean Berry of New Canaan Volleyball had a big day as the Rams rallied from a 2-set deficit to beat Darien in 5 sets. Berry was the leader with 15 kills, also had 10 digs.
Richard Brereton from Darien Baseball is up next. He threw a complete game as the Blue Wave knocked off Ridgefield 3-1. An 85-pitch performance. He's 3-1 on the year.
Danbury track and field athlete Devontae Clark ran the anchor legs of a pair of winning relays for the Hatters at the 36 O'Grady's Relays. 4x100, 4x200. The Hatters won the meet, beating Weathersfield.
Ryan Cornell of Darien Lacrosse is up next. He made 8 saves as the Blue Wave defeated New Canaan 10-7. Of course, in that big game last Saturday, he played very well. They're 9-0 on the spring.
Trumbull golfer Ryan Levy shot a 37 on the par 36 Brooklawn course as the Eagles beat Fairfield Ward 169-185.
Henrik Lappenoff of Ridgefield Boys Volleyball is next. 42 assists, 5 digs, 9 service points. The Tigers 8-1 on the year. They shut down Fairfield 3-0 and also had 37 assists in a sweep of Trumbull.
Thomas Reynolds, baseball player from New Canaan High School, threw out the potential winning run at the plate in the bottom of the 7th as the Rams beat Ludlow 13-12 in 8 innings. He also had 3 hits and a sacrifice bunt.
Andrew Lodgko of Trumbull Baseball is up next. A 3-hitter. Trumbull defeated West Hill 4-0 in FCAC action as they are 6-4, 5-3 in the conference.
Fairfield Ward pitcher John Natoli allowed only 3 hits, struck out 14 as the Mustangs beat Danbury 1-0. He also had a double as in helping Ward beat Danbury. Ward now 8-4.
Ryan Schwaber of Staples Lacrosse, Ben Schwaber of Staples Lacrosse, I'm combining names here. The Wreckers face-off specialist dominated the X to give the Wreckers a strong possession advantage in their 7-6 win over Ridgefield last Friday night in Westport.
Ryan Searles of Norwalk tossed a 2-hit shutout at the Rams as the Bears picked up a 5-0 win Monday at Nathan Hale Middle School. The only 2 hits he allowed, 2 singles, 3 walks, and he struck out 6 in 7 innings of work.
I'll take that. And Max Theodorakis of Danbury Boys Golf is our final nominee. One of the top golfers in the FCAC. He shot a 234 at Richter Park last Thursday. However, Darien topped Danbury 147 to 157. All right, we need to know exactly how the votes are going. Let's see. I need to come up with a nominee. Who am I voting for here? I think I'll go with that young man right there. And I will not let on who I'm nominating over here. It's going to be that. Let's see who's doing what in terms of votes here, Don. This is tense times here.
It really is, actually, and quite a bit of voting actually early on. Right now, let's see. Should we let on who's taking the early lead?
I think we will. Go ahead. On the male side.
On the men's side, it is Ben Schwaber of Staples leading the way with about 30% of the votes so far. 196 votes. Natoli, Ward Baseball in second place, and Ryan Cornell has third right now with 103 votes, very early on still.
On the ladies' side, it is right now a runaway for Ava Greco of Wilton Lacrosse at 44% of the vote. That's 431 votes. Olivia Vadis of Fairfield Ward Softball is in second place with 21% at 204. Catherine Harford from Greenwich Lacrosse is third at 11%. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? Get to voting.
Get to voting.
Your people.
And you can vote until 12:15 a.m. on Monday, but don't vote then. It's a school night.
We'll take a break here on Nutmeg Sports. Don and I will come back. We'll talk about any postponements, anything else we've got to get to before we send you on your way. It's a Tuesday edition with no tennis for us to broadcast today. We're back after this on the HAN Network.
Alberto Londano Professional Painting, Wallpapering, and Carpentry has been serving Fairfield County for over 20 years. Based in Norwalk, Alberto takes pride in his work by offering you only the best quality service and products. Call Alberto today to get a free estimate and be one step closer to a new and exciting home makeover. 203-866-9635.
A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with a Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
I'm Denise DiGregoli, the host of The Drive on the HAN Network. Join me Tuesdays for some motivational, intelligent talk with a little humor as we visit with people who live their lives mindfully. Tune in to The Drive live on Tuesdays, 12:30, here on the HAN Network.
For over 25 years, Mike Cizik Painting and Wallpapering has been the name to know for residential and commercial properties in Fairfield County. He uses only the top brands, including Benjamin Moore, for impeccable preparation and lasting quality. Call Mike now and receive $500 off any job over $7,000. Mike is currently accepting reservations for spring, so call him today at 203-770-8869 or 203-972-3310. For your custom painting, finishing, and staining needs, it's Mike Cizik.
Back with you on Nutmeg Sports. Grant Weiler, by the way, ably running controls, and I owe him a shout out for helping me out on this morning's Coffee Break Sports Report, so have to give him a mention. Besides, he's doing a far better job than the usual director, so I'm very happy with the way this show is going. Of course, Eric Gendron's right here in the studio and helping out, of course, teaching Grant as we move along. If we were really on our game, but these guys don't even know it yet, this computer's so hot, it's breaking news. Of course, we kind of discussed it off the air, but now it's official. I think I can announce that we're adding something to the broadcast schedule.
Outstanding.
So I think I'm going to go with it because it's right here in letters and words and all that stuff on my computer screen.
Right here in glorious CGA graphics.
Of course, due to various circumstances, we didn't get yesterday's broadcast on the air. We are postponing today, of course, with the weather outside being so frightful. The tennis will not be so delightful. We are putting baseball on the schedule for Friday. So Ridgefield, we are on our way to you at 4 on Friday. The West Hill Vikings, the Ridgefield Tigers, there it is on Friday at 4 o'clock at Governor's Park.
Exciting news. It should be a competitive game. A couple of teams looking to really improve their position in the FCAC standings heading into that 8-team FCAC playoff.
So very cool. Glad to add that to the schedule. We're expecting still to see St. Joseph and Ridgefield tomorrow in softball. I don't know if that's going to come to be. Tomorrow's forecast does not look very good, Don. Have you been able to find kind of any other postponements as we moved along here?
There are quite a few. Mostly so far in the New Haven area is doing a lot of the cancellations. I think the weather is it's supposed to be a little bit worse, a little bit up the state than it is here. In the SEC, Notre Dame and Cheshire postponed to Saturday. In the NVL, Seymour versus Woodland, Watertown, Ansonia, Holy Cross Derby, all the NVL games basically. The bottom line, I think, is going to be if you have a game scheduled to be played outdoors today, you might want to double check before you start driving, because a lot of the schools have gone ahead and canceled their games, and literally more coming in every few minutes.
Yeah, as I mentioned, tennis will not be happening today. In fact, I can pull up the tennis list and tell you at this point if anybody is still on the schedule. And in fact, now everybody is off from today's schedule. I watched it kind of go from, I think there was 9 at one point, went down to 6, and then it was 1, and now they're all gone for today.
The last holdout finally.
Yeah, so I know that for Fairfield Ludlow, their Norwalk match will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock. They've also got Staples New Canaan, not at Fairfield Ludlow, but there's also Staples New Canaan, Trinity Catholic Greenwich, and Ridgefield St. Joseph all on the docket for tomorrow. So it's a shame. On the one hand, we need rain. I was seeing something on TV this morning that indicated we're really kind of running low in terms of precipitation this spring. So obviously, we want the reservoirs to be filled and all that. But from a sports perspective, and we said this, of course, with Jeff Babino to start the show, it wreaks havoc, especially in the spring, because your schedule is so condensed, Don. You're throwing your first pitch or lobbing your first pass or whatever it is on roughly April 2nd, and really by about 2 weeks from tomorrow, you're done.
Right, and you've got to somehow get 20 games in, while also, at least on the baseball side, while also dealing with the pitch limitations and inning counts and things like that for your pitchers. And when you have to compress the schedule and start playing 3-4 games a week, that just really makes it a big challenge. But on the other hand, it does reward the teams that have superior depth. So it's good and bad, but really you'd like to play the games when they're scheduled.
You'd really like to see these games take place, and unfortunately, it's not going to happen today. I was interested to see what it would be like to cover a tennis match. It's a sport I haven't called personally, so it was going to be, I was kind of acquainting myself again, getting comfortable with, what high school tennis is all about. I've watched, countless Wimbledon and U.S. Open and all of that, but, it was kind of exciting to do it, and it's not going to happen today, unfortunately.
No, not today, unfortunately, but, there's a ways to go. Hopefully we'll get something like that back on the schedule.
But again, we are adding baseball Friday to the schedule, West Hill and Ridgefield. That is 4 o'clock, and again, that's a multiple named facility. It's the old high school. I also know it as Governor's Park, among other things. So whatever you may call it, it will be there on Friday, right outside the Ridgefield Playhouse, in fact.
Right. And speaking of baseball, I just wanted to quickly mention that the latest polls are out. Darien carrying the banner for the FCAC coming in at number 7. In the latest Game Time CT NH Register poll.
Before we say goodbye, you've got that list open. Quickly run them down for me.
Right now we have Amity going for their 4th straight Class XXL title. They are the top-ranked team in the state. Waterford number 2, followed by Berlin, Hamden, and Sheehan. South Windsor starts the second 5 at number 6, followed by Darien, Southington, Bristol, Eastern, and Montville. Very condensed poll. Also receiving votes, Northwest Catholic, East Catholic, Oxford, but very close voting there. And as far as the girls go, in softball, St. Joseph, the lone FCAC representative, in there at number 5 with an 11-1 record, and West Hill is kind of mid-pack in that also receiving votes category.
Fascinating that St. Joseph is only number 5.
Well, there's a couple of undefeated teams ahead of them. Fitch, Seymour, Cheshire, and Fitch, Seymour, and Cheshire are all undefeated, and then Southington, the former number 1, has a 10-1 record, having lost to Fitch, so the voters slotted them in at number 4, right ahead of St. Joe's. But these things, they work themselves out. Come tournament time, the teams that really belong at the top are going to kind of make their way up.
As we wrap up this edition of the show, I find it fascinating. It once again proves that the FCAC is regarded really as a lacrosse conference and not a baseball conference, which is too bad because I think there's a lot of good baseball to be played in the conference this year, and each team is kind of beating each other up.
Right.
It's really interesting. I think the FCAC playoffs are going to be fascinating this year.
They're going to be fascinating. It's almost like watching the Southeast Conference football because you just have you have teams that are going head to head, and it's really hard to get through a season with one of those gaudy 18-2 records. But that's what the playoffs are for.
So that'll do it for this edition of Nutmeg Sports. Our thanks to Jeff Babino for joining us. Great guest. We'll have him on again, and we will be back with you tomorrow. Hopefully I can drag this guy in for a few minutes as well. We'll see if we can get Dave Stewart at least on phone, but we'll see what tomorrow's show brings us. Thanks to Grant and Eric for keeping us on the air on the other side. For Donald Eng, I'm Rob Adams. Enjoy your day. Coffee break tomorrow, 11 o'clock. But for now, so long, everyone.